I'm Andy Schofield. I joined the British Army back in 2009. After completing an operational tour, I remained in the military for a couple of years and then left at the start of 2015. I think mental health is something that I've always kind of had a bit of a struggle with. I just didn't appreciate or understand what it was because it wasn't really spoken about when I was younger, an accumulation of issues and things that I'd not dealt with, you know, all the way from childhood up until the start of around 2019. That's when it really became all-encompassing for me. But for whatever reason, you know, at the time I didn't realise or understand why, I couldn't find joy in anything. I started to have real deep negative thoughts and was crippled between a mixture of depression and anxiety. And from that point, you know, I started to really withdraw because I couldn't face the world and the noise that was going on in my own mind. Like I said, at that point, the suicidal thoughts started to creep in and rapidly became much louder and almost quite intoxicating. Because at that moment and in that headspace, I genuinely believed that I was just a negative impact on anybody that is in my life or that has any dealings with me or interactions with me, to the point where I was convinced that if the shorter time that I was in my daughter's life, the better it'd be for her. But I felt I needed to do something. I couldn't stay in this space any longer. And luckily, my brother's a personal trainer. Whilst we were training, you know, he didn't know the extent of how I was feeling. He just knew that I'd not been gym for a while. I wasn't really getting back to him when he called me or if he texted me. So he didn't understand that I was struggling mentally. He didn't actually know that because I almost felt ashamed that I couldn't reach out and tell people because I had a persona to live up to. You know, how can I reach out to people and tell them that how I'm feeling when I've got this persona that I have to live up to and I can't let anybody down? And we were in the gym, we were training, you know, and he just turned to me and out of nowhere, out of the blue, just said, "Andy, I've been struggling mentally recently, like really struggling. I've had real negative thoughts." And him just opening up to me and being brave enough and having the confidence to do that, I didn't even say any words. Him talking gave me a relief and a release that I wasn't alone. After that conversation and a few other conversations with close family members and friends, you know, I felt strong enough and confident enough to reach out to the NHS and seek help. I started really quickly after reaching out. I started therapy, actually just committing to it and throwing myself into it and not holding back and saying how things are and how things were and how I'm feeling and being totally open and honest. It helped the recovery. I'm going to be walking from the Cenotaph in London to the Cenotaph in Manchester, starting on the 5th of December, Monday the 5th of December, finishing on Friday the 9th of December in Manchester. So that's 350 kilometres, just over, but we'll just round it to 350 kilometres, which is averaging out around 70 kilometres per day. I'm going to be sleeping rough. I'm going to be carrying all my kit and equipment. I'll also be doing this and taking this on solo. The way I see it is it's a visual and physical representation of a mental health journey, of my personal mental health journey, and I'm sure, you know, that other people would have gone through similar things. It's that representation of loneliness. Just because you're down and you're feeling upset and depressed and vulnerable doesn't mean you're out, doesn't mean you can't come back. And I think what I found from my personal journey actually is that it made me a stronger person and actually propelled me forward. So that the mental health struggle didn't hold me back, it propelled me forward. So this walk, yes, it's going to be tough, it's going to be really tough physically, very tough mentally, but if I can get through a mental health struggle and journey like I have, this walk will be a piece of cake.